Okay, so I'm not very good at dovetails, but I found a way to make perfect dovetails every time very quickly. I'm going to show it to you. Okay, so I know that's not what you thought you were going to see. I do need a bit more practice doing hand dovetails, and we're going to do that in the next project after this. But if you want to learn how to do hand dovetails, I'm not the one to teach you, but I'll throw some links up here in the cards, or up here in the cards, one way or the other. But take a look at Rob Kosman or a few others. There's some very good, quick, and down and dirty videos to show you how to do hand cut dovetails. As I said, I'll do them on my next project, and we'll take a look, and hopefully they turn out well, because I need to build a Dutch tool cabinet to both move tools around to the boat and to store all of my old antique, repurposed, and new hand tools that I've collected over the last few months. Okay, so that's right, I'm talking about the Incra Jig. I bought this probably 5 years ago, and I've never put it together. I'm not sure why, especially after watching the DVD. But let's take a quick look. I've taken the DVD out. Basically, we got some parts here to put together a jig, which mounts onto a 9-inch piece of wood, and this allows the adjustments back and forth according to a number of templates that you can buy, or just measurements that you check yourself. And also, you can make your own fence, or I, at the time, because it was very inexpensive, and still is, even here in Australia, the parts to put together the fence and the fence stock. So I'm going to cut a piece of wood, pull out the rudder table. We've got an old piece of pine that I'll attach to the rudder table to put this together. Take a quick look at some points in the Incra video, and let's get this together and give it a go. See if we can make perfect dovetails or box joints. Okay, so here's my rudder table. Got some bits, and I bought this bit special for that Incra Jig. We'll just put these down below right now. I'll get rid of the fence, and we'll get the 9-inch piece of wood out here, measure it so that we can fit it on the rudder table. I'm not sure if the Incra Jig comes with connectors to connect it here. You can just clamp it to the base of your rudder table. I may actually use the connectors here on the sides to put it in. Mostly because my rudder table is fairly small, and I think that the piece of wood the jig is attached to would push back fairly far. But we'll check it out and see. Okay, so I got a slightly wider than 9-inch piece of wood. What happens basically, although obviously I haven't done it yet, is this thing connects onto it, and this moves onto the rudder table. So because this will have a fence on it, and my table is not very wide this way, I think I'm actually going to have to do it like this. And this will give enough room to get box joints and other stuff done. Still not sure. Maybe let's put this together, bolt it down, and then I can decide if this works this way or works this way. I would love if it works this way, but just looking at it, I think I'm not going to have any adjustment. Okay, so basically what I've done is take this piece of pine versus a piece of 3/4-inch ply that the plans call for. I've cut it to the depth or width of my router table so that I have the most room to do joinery. Giving it 5 coats of shellac, so hopefully that'll help it keep its thickness and shape. It won't expand too much with the changing humidity. I put together the fence and the right angle fixture. Then I took a good look at the plans. I only have one router bit that this works with. Basically, this uses a 3/8 inch straight cutting bit to do box joints. I don't have one of them. I have a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch. So I'll pick up one of those. However, having watched some videos online about making jigs for the table saw, making jigs for your router, if I didn't already own this, I would suggest you could make your own jig to use your own bits. It would be much more, you'd have more room to work with, be able to cut more box joints with different router bits if you just made your own jig and didn't use this jig. Second thing, uses 2 different dovetail bits, both 1/2 inch dovetail bits, one a 10 degree and one a 14 degree. So I have 2 1/2 inch 14 degree bits. One's metric, so it's actually a 12.5, and one's a 1/2 inch bit. So we'll use the 1/2 inch 14 degree bit. However, looking through the book again, the limitation with this is for through dovetails, this will only cut it in approximately 3/8 of an inch stock. I'll check the number in a second. And for half blind dovetails, I could use 3/4 inch stock. Through dovetails, I can only use 3/8 inch stock, possibly 1/2 inch, but I don't think so based on watching the video. The limitation is the router bit height. So if you cut your dovetails by hand, you can make your dovetails any size. You cut your base, you mark your baseline, mark your dovetail angles, mark the pins and tails, cut them with the saw. A little bit of a tune-up with your chisel or what have you, and you can dovetail anything. This jig, although it would be easier to reproduce joints, especially en masse, and to do some fancy joints if you bought the master template book, which shows you how to do it with all the extra templates. The jig itself with the fence only comes with 2 templates, a 3/8 inch box joint template and a dovetailing template. So basically, I guess I could use this to make sure I make some 3/4 inch drawers nicely, or I could use 1/2 inch drawers with half blinds. I certainly can't make through dovetails according to the instructions, and I guess that was what I was looking forward to. So if I go buy a new router bit, I can do box joints, and that's good because I do want to make some boxes for an upcoming project. I was hoping to do some through dovetails to see how it worked. Apparently not going to be able to, so I guess we'll do some half blinds, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Half blind dovetails are, in my mind, much harder to cut than a through dovetail. Take a bit more skill and a bit more work to fit. So if I can do that to attach some drawer sides to the drawer fronts, and then I can just use a dado to attach the drawer back and the drawer bases, I guess it's a win. And I already own this. It's not like it's a waste of money. I spent this money, like I said, years and years ago. I just have never put it together. And so other than trying to do some dovetails, which I can't actually do, although the half-blind dovetails will be good, and we'll give that a shot here on the video, and I'll show you how that looks. My router table's fence is better than this fence anyway. So I guess I've never needed this thing before, which is not why I haven't put it together. Now that I got it, I thought I was going to be impressed. I think you'd be better off getting different dovetailing jigs if you want to do power tool dovetails and not hand dovetails. This thing's very limited in the size of the material that you can use. Basically 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch material for through dovetails.
and I think 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch for half blind dovetails, and that's pretty much it. So, although the video was impressive, when I opened the box finally after years, I'm becoming less impressed, and I haven't even tried it yet. Okay, so I may have been a little bit too harsh with description. I guess I was a bit disappointed that unless I used very thin stock, I couldn't cut through dovetails. And lesson learned, I guess I'm just going to have to practice by hand and get better at it. However, as an incremental positioner, which this thing really is, it does very well. Cutting dados, sliding dovetails in the middle, or at a set distance from the edge of a piece, excellent. What I might do, I'm looking at a couple other different dovetail jigs now, maybe for the future. One from Wood River, one from Baladonia. The Wood River one, they're basically identical except for the wood or the clamps for putting your pieces in. I kind of like the Wood River one. It looks a bit easier. It's a little bit more expensive, but it does come with some more accessories like rudder bits and bushings, which may make it cheaper in the end. However, the Baladonia jig has more options, so buying all the options makes it more expensive, but it is less expensive in the beginning, although it doesn't come with rudder bits. Can definitely cut through dovetails in a lot thicker stock, so might pick up one in the future and use it on some projects and see. All right, anyway, thanks for watching, and remember, if you like this video, please hit the like button, or think about subscribing, or hit the bell, and get notified about future videos when they're released. Thanks for watching.